Alright, so we're in the truck. Titled down. And we're gonna go to the yard and see about let's get that out of the way. I'm not entirely sure what that paperwork is, but whatever. Go to the yard, put gas in the Caprice. I'm gonna pull it out of the yard and use it this next week, because I don't know exactly what's going to be going on. So I prefer to have something that gets better gas mileage than this thing. This thing gets like 10 miles a gallon. But anyway, so we are on our way to the yard. We'll drop off by the, well, I was going to drop off by the dumpster, put trash in the dumpster, but it looks like that's full. So never mind. Anyway, all right, off to the yard. So here's the long short story, because I can't ever tell a story without going long. Anyway, hold on. Gotta open up my pipes again. So I sold 3 cars essentially. Not really. I mean, essentially I sold 3 cars. I gave one away to my mother, which was the Lincoln Town car. I just was never comfortable in that car. I was never going to be comfortable in that car. So that's gone. It's running great for her. Didn't run all that well for me. I sold 2 vans. So if you guys remember in previous videos, in this spot used to be a white van, the van that I called Evanescence. And then over there, let me see if I can't turn it around. Hold on. Okay, over there where you see that white Cadillac and that brown van, over there was the purple van, and I sold it too. So, then over here is the trailer and the Caprice. And we're going to walk over and pick up the Caprice. Pepper! Come on! Right then. So, anyway, hold on. So the sun's in behind me. That's just the direction I'm going. Anyway, so I sold some vehicles, got rid of them. That's helped me kind of limp along as far as money's concerned. For the last 3 weeks, I did pick up a couple shifts at the place I used to work, and that helped me along as well. I'm probably getting ready to sell a couple more vehicles. Somebody wanted to buy the Suburban. I'll show you guys that here in a second. So I'm going to show you essentially what's left of my car collection. You've seen the pickup truck and the Caprice, that's 2. Let me show you. Okay, so here is, this is my 1990 Chevy van. I bought it for $600. It's a pretty decent van. So the interior was taken out of it before I got it, and I had all the trim pieces, but I intended on basically converting this into a camper van. Which I built the bed. So here's the bed. And then I actually did go camping in it a couple of times. It worked all right, but it just needs everything done. You can see the janky house wiring that it's got over there. And over there for some of the things it needs done. It needed just all kinds of work. So, Pepper, hush. Sit. She's whining. Anyway, I left that piece up there. Although if I keep it, I'll probably take that piece down. But a friend of mine wants this van, and I have every intention of letting her have it, because in all honesty, it's a project beyond what I really want to take on. She loves the color gray that it is. But me, I don't really like it. I call it Skater Boy, because I think this is exactly what somebody who loves skating, like in the 90s, like the late 90s, early 2000s, would have bought. Keep all of his boards in, you know, and everything. And the color scheme, I think, is great. It's a high top. So with the 60/40 doors, which I always wanted a high top with 60/40 doors, but now I don't like them, because you can't get anywhere. Okay, Cadillac. Cadillac's got an interesting story. So I bought it because I wanted a Cadillac. And actually I'm gonna turn this around so you can see me. Alright, so I bought the Cadillac because I always wanted the Cadillac. This one pops up, it's $1,500. It's a great car. I mean, the interior's good in it. Everything. I think I've done a video on this Cadillac. I put new tires on it, drove it back from Mineral Wells. It drove great. Just driving around in the yard the last couple of weeks, it drove great too. But I don't have the title for it, and that's a problem. So I can get the title, but what I have to do is I have to file for a lost title, not a lost title, but a what do they call them? Bonded title. And I'm just not entirely sure I want to take that on. Now, this is a great car. This really is. And it would be, it just needs a little bit of work. A top, a paint job on the hood, the bumper fillers, and honestly, it would be a perfect car. And then I got to figure out what's going on with the windshield wipers. I think it's a switch. But other than that, the car runs great, goes down the road just fine. I really like this car. I'd like to keep it. But I just don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't know that I could sell it. That's the other part of the problem. So if I try to sell it, it may be with like a bill of sale only, and somebody else is going to have to get a bonded title for it. I don't know. So I'm sitting in two Kenworth Peterbilt seats that I got from Sasnak. But anyway, brown van. This thing, the seat's missing a window. That's really what's wrong with it as far as driving is concerned. It runs great, goes down the road just fine. Isn't really missing any parts. I mean, the interior's shot. I've had it for bought it in 2000, so I've had it for 22 years. Yeah, so it needs work. This thing isn't going anywhere. I've had this for years, and this is my first car, and I'm not getting rid of this. I'll do like a full detail on it, but it's an 84 Chevy van. I mean, there you go, 84 Chevy van. I love this van. I've had this van for 22 years. I'm not getting rid of this van. I'd get rid of everything else before I get rid of this van. It needs that wing window. I don't know how to replace a wing window. Honestly, somebody else needs to do that besides me. So I'm going to try to find somebody who can do it at some point. Solid. I mean, it's got one little rust hole over on the other side on the passenger side, which I don't know why it's got a rust hole there. But other than that, it's a solid vehicle. But I love this van. It's not going anywhere. Over here is the Suburban I was going to tell you guys about. I'll get up and do like a little tour of it. Alright, so 89 GMC Suburban, 4-wheel drive. There's something wrong with the front differential. I've never taken the time to try to figure it out. I've just driven it like it is. So, it has been sitting here a while. You can see the dust on it. I don't have the keys for it. I don't know if you could tell. All the parts that I got with the pickup truck are in there. Every bit of new stuff. New lenses for the back. All kinds of stuff. I don't think it's unlocked. It's not unlocked. Although this door, nope, that door's not locked either. So, that seat that's in there is a bench seat that I got out of a pickup truck, and I put it in there, and everything. The steering wheel's loose. There's a window missing on the other side. Well, hold on. I had this cardboarded over because wasps were getting in it. Somebody broke this window out, I think, trying to steal it or whatever. It was in a questionable neighborhood, but this door's open. Especially since I can get into it. You can see, stuff's just broken and it's full of junk. That's the fan shroud for the 90 van, the gray van and everything. You can see all the parts for the pickup truck and the license plate for when I took the license plate off the pickup truck. All kinds of stuff's in here. There's a hard hat back there or whatever. But it'll run and drive. It'll go down the road. It needs like brake work or whatever. It's a solid truck. Here are your, here's your, whatever, your rocker panel. There's nothing wrong with that. Here's all your underside. You can see it's just a solid old truck. And I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. And a guy that was that bought the 95 van at Van Essence asked about this truck. And I told him it wasn't for sale. It was a family heirloom. And it kind of is. And the reason it kind of is because this was the truck that my sister bought in 2002 to go to New York in. Straight away. To go to New York in. And I went with her, which was not a good idea. I lost my job because that's a whole story if I haven't told you the whole story. But I went with her and lost my job working at the trolley barn and everything. And so we ended up coming home on a train and everything. The truck broke down in Mount Jackson, Virginia, of all places, and we ended up having to leave it in Mount Jackson to have a new motor put in it. So it's got a crate motor, which I'm sure has over 100,000 miles on it by now, because that was 2002. And then we built a transmission and shipped it to Mount Jackson, Virginia from here, because it was up there for over 9 months. And he did the work on the side, to help my sister as far as money was concerned. She was broke, so it stayed up there. And then finally, my sister loved the truck so much she went and got it and brought it back. And then it ended up developing a power steering problem that was easily remedied by putting power steering fluid in it. But my sister couldn't afford power steering fluid, so she just let it sit, and she let the inspection go out. And so her apartment complex at the time was like, come get this piece of shit off the property, or get rid of that piece of shit or we're going to have it towed or whatever. My sister couldn't afford it. So I went down, fired it up, hadn't run it in a couple months, fired it up, drove it back home, and went out and just put power steering fluid in it just to see what it would do, and it worked fine. And so I called my sister and said, if I spend $2,500 fixing this truck, I get the truck. Is that okay? And she goes, yeah. So I ended up putting it in the shop after the rear end went out. And that ended up costing me, and putting in a power steering system, and that cost me $2,500. So the power steering system doesn't leak. The rear end's not brand new. It's used parts, but it's good enough. So I don't know. Guy wants the truck. It's sitting here. It's been here for 3 years sitting. And I'm just thinking, man, I got enough projects as it is, and I don't need more, So anyway, last one. Talk about the Mercedes. Alright, so the last one here is the 94 Mercedes. You guys have seen it before. I've driven it before on the channel. Whatever. And it's trashed out, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, my brother borrowed it for a while and didn't clean it up. It's got parts. Excuse me, it's got parts in the back to fix it and everything. But it's a decent little car. I'm not gonna lie. It's a decent little car. It leaks everything. I mean, this thing, if it can leak it, it does leak it, And it won't start right now, which is why it's on ramps. So my uncle wants to come out here, try to fix it so I can get more money for it to sell it. But if he fixes it, I'm probably going to start driving it again, because honestly, it gets 25, 26 miles to the gallon. And it goes like the wind. I mean, I love my Caprice, but this thing goes like the wind. It's not a bad little car. It's not a bad little car. So, I don't know. So, we're talking about it. The van, the 90 van, this one here, when will it go away? I have no clue. I literally have no clue. But, I don't know. Let me get back in the car. This may have been too much today. I don't think so, but anyway, so that's the current status of my car collection. I'm down by 3, so I'm down to 7, 1 for every day of the week, and I think I'm gonna go down by 2 more at least. But I haven't figured out which 2. I think the Suburban's on the chopping block. I'm so on the fence about it, but I'm on the fence about it because I like it. The Cadillac is under consideration. The Mercedes is under consideration. So that's 3, which would leave me 4 vehicles altogether. And then the 90 van would go away, which would leave me down to 3. So that's 4 vehicles. The problem is, I think the Cadillac's my problem for now, because of the title. If that gets fixed, I'm probably going to drive it. So that's 2 that I'm back up. So I'd be at 6. No, I'd be at 5 vehicles at that point, which, 5 vehicles isn't that bad. I don't know. You guys can help me decide. So, I think the Cadillac's my problem until I get the bonded title. But when that's going to be, I have no idea. I think the Suburban's going to go. I think it's going to go. But I like it so much. So, I'm at least down by one, which is this 90 van here, in order to get rid of it, because I just think I don't need it. I don't want to go camping in it. I'm not going to ever fix it up. My friend probably will. She keeps talking about coming to get it. She hasn't come to get it yet, so we'll see what happens about that. But anyway, so that's kind of it. That's what's going on right now. I'm going to head back home and try to just relax a little bit. So anyway, you guys, from Pepper and I. Hey, Pepper, come here. Oh, yeah. Good girl. So anyway, for Pepper and I, we will see you guys soon. Keep shining side up. See you down the road. Say bye. Say bye.